Hey guys, just wanted to give you an update. In my last video, I spoken about whether should I trade in my Explorer One, which was uh, one of my favorites under the radar watches. Should I trade it up for Datejust 41, which I actually really love. It says a Azzurro Blue dial. Actually, for my old watch fans, this is a Datejust 2. Actually, this is not a 41. This is one of the first iterations of Azzurro Blue. Maybe I will do a review in the future. But for my old fans, you have seen this watch on my channel before. So I just wanted to give you a little update what I got and what I did. So basically, I traded my Explorer One, which I liked, and I kind of missed it. But I had no other watches to trade up. Maybe it was an option to trade up my Breguet, but yeah, Breguet is not a perfect watch. By all means, it's really hard to find a perfect watch. It's a quest. It's a quest of a watch collector. Maybe not. Mine is not for sure. Yeah, I did not want it to get rid of the Breguet because I love it, and it's a freaking Breguet. So yeah, I decided I have Explorer 2, so I wanted to get rid of Explorer 1, and it was like one of the least watches in my collection. It's one of the watches that I will miss the most. My collection has actually changed quite a lot since I did since my last collection update. There's been a lot of watches coming in and coming out. Had some IWCs, some Breitlings, lots of things, changes. Some of the Explorer One came in. I got rid of the IWC for an Explorer One, and in the hindsight, I kind of like that IWC more than Explorer One, but always wanted to have Explorer One. So yeah, that's it. There and yeah. Right now, um, I actually got rid of my Navy timer, I believe for IWC. Then I IWC for Explorer 1, and I came here to get Datejust 41. I actually owned a Datejust. It was a vintage Datejust 16030 with the engine turned bezel, and it was my favorite, hands down favorite. Datejust, very easy to wear. Datejust for every day, with so much memory. And then I got involved in some watch trading. I got a Breguet Classique 5177, an ML dial, the one the Archie has now. And yeah, I had to get rid of my Datejust to get that. Then I got rid of the Breguet. Had a buyer's remorse. Got rid of the Breguet. I got another Breguet, and I did a lot of things, but I lost my Datejust, and I wanted the Datejust. Basically, Datejust could be one of the best, one of the most favorite watches, uh, one of the favorite watches from the catalog. And yeah, and I always was on the lookout for theirs. It was a vintage Datejust. I said it's not a big deal. There are a lot of them, but ever since I got rid of mine, the COVID happened, and the prices just skyrocketed. Everything, I could not buy it again. So the biggest take from my trading and dealing with watches is I'm trying not to get rid of or not to sell my watches, because it's really hard to buy them back at similar price. I'm not even saying the same price I bought them, but for the similar price, because it happens. So yeah, now I have this Datejust 2. This is a 41 mil Datejust Azzurro Blue dial. Azzurro Blue dials only do come with the Roman numerals, and I do like the Roman numerals. My previous Datejust was with the Roman numerals, and I loved it. And yeah, I like this more than Explorer 1. It just suits me and fits me and my personality better. This watch, it may not look much like this under the no lighting and not, but it's just every time I glance at it on my wrist, it catches me by surprise, and yeah, I brings me a little bit of that joy. It pained me to get rid of the Explorer because I like the Explorer. It was a dilemma. Should I get rid of the Explorer for the Datejust 41? And I asked you in a video, and I listened to my heart because I like this one more. And when you take this outside, it just the light hits it differently, and it just speaks to me in the evening. Also, the watch, it completely has a different color, and yeah, it's a joy to have. It's very comfortable on the wrist, and it's basically an update. This is a modern reference and a contemporary reference, and yeah, I upgraded a little bit, so it's good. So this is a 116300. So it's a Datejust 2, and this is a larger version of a classic Datejust 36. It was introduced in 2009, and it is still in a catalog. It's 41 millimeters across the diameter, and it has 3136 movement with parachrome hairspring and Perflex shock absorbers. So it's quite an upgrade, and it has an enlarged date disc. It's available in a number of variations, but they are all fitted with oyster bracelets. Modern versions do come with the folded bezels and jubilee bracelets, but this was the first original configuration. So in the Rolex world, Azzurro Datejust is just a Datejust 41 mil, and it has a dial with the Roman numerals and particular shade of blue. This is it. It's distinct from the bright blue, and which is used on the other watches from Rolex, and it's also distinct from the blue that you got with the Datejust with the stick markers. So it's a slightly more grayish and low light, but it's like ocean-like cerulean in a bright light. So in 2009, they debuted with this model, and it was known as the Datejust 2. And that's when the Azzurro Blue first appeared, and it's been part of the largest size Rolex Datejust lineup ever since, even today. So the Azzurro Blue is available only in this configuration with the smooth bezel and an oyster bracelet, and later on they switched those configurations. It was in 2016 they no longer called it Datejust 2, it was replaced by Datejust 41. It was the same diameter, but it had updated movement, a little bit of a revised bezel and analog proportions. So the difference is that Datejust 41 features a crown logo between Swiss and made at the bottom here, and this one does not. That basically, if you see a crown logo there, that means it has it just says Swiss crown and made. That basically denotes the newer caliber 32-35 moment, and yeah, all Datejusts Azzurro Blue are no volume, and no volume on the dial. So no volume.